Having some technical difficulties here. Come on, YouTube, be better. Let's go live together. It does not work very well. A lot of glitches. And it doesn't work from the phone, from a computer, only from the phone. Okay, here he is. I clicked add. There we go.
Take me a while to get used to this.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought we learned on the. I was reading the on the. Whatever. I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, read it from your computer, but the
How
Go
do I
Live
read?
Together app only works on the phone.
Well, how do I read it from the computer?
I sent it to you. I WhatsApped
Oh,
you a PDF. You must have downloaded it or saved it to your computer. Should be in your
oh,
file under downloads, or if you go to back to WhatsApp, you should see a message where I sent you the whole PDF. This is what we're reading from
I think
right here.
on my on my desktop is where it was.
That's fine. From Koil Rabbanei Chabad, Hilchos Purim, from Gedalia Oberlander. We are, where are we? Partway through the laws of Mishlech Manas. Okay. So,
Okay.
check your downloads, maybe. Open File Explorer, click Downloads.
Where's File Explorer?
It's any folder, Tatty. File Explorer means the thing with the folder icon. It's how you explore files on the Windows device.
Huh.
So either in the taskbar, the thing that looks like a file folder, or any file folder on the desktop. You just open any of them, and then on the left side will be, the your most recent, your most commonly clicked, or different pinned folders. One of which would be downloads.
Okay. Okay. What? I'm still looking for something.
I know you're still looking, but are you looking for what I'm telling you to look for?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Say. Okay. Say.
Okay, Tadi, when I speak, I usually try to speak in a pace that if you're listening, you could do it as I talk. There's nothing to remember. Just don't be doing other things, because then you're not. It's not going to be nishteh. So click on a file folder, either on your taskbar at the bottom of your screen. Something the icon that is a file folder. Are you familiar with that? You know what I'm talking about? Yes or no?
No. Is this a file folder? I have a lot of file folders.
Open any of them. Open any of them. Are any of
Okay.
them open on your screen?
No, I just clicked on one.
Are any of them open on your screen right now? If they're not, please open one of them. Any of them. Just
Okay.
open a folder on your screen.
I'll put one.
On the
Okay.
left side is a tab of a list of different locations, different folders, correct?
Right.
One of them is downloads. One of them is desktop. There should be a list of ones that you frequently go to. Go to the one that says downloads. Click on the one that says downloads. Click on the one that says downloads.
Okay.
Okay, then that should have your downloads in history of, how many things in going back in time from most recent download to a previous download. Shouldn't be too long ago that you downloaded this, just 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay. Last week, right?
It was Sunday night. It's Tuesday night now. It's 2 days ago. 17th.
Huh. No.
Okay. So then go to WhatsApp and check the WhatsApps for me because that's how I sent it to you.
Okay. 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 When did you send it? Last week?
Sunday night, 2 nights ago, March
Hey,
17th.
I got hey. Save it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Now I thought I save on the desktop.
Okay.
On the desktop. Network. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, okay. Yeah, okay. That's
All
right.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Apologize to anyone
Cool.
who's watching this. Next time we won't go live until everyone actually has
Okay.
things in front of them. When we're actually ready. Okay. Are we ready?
Ready that?
Are we ready? I don't want to do let's not do this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Where do I go? To which one?
So we're not ready. Okay. So
I
that's what
go
I had asked you
to
before. If you'd remember, I think
number
let's go to number
7
17.
17. Oh, wow.
All right. And the list
It's
of the different
17. Okay.
things of
Okay.
shalach manas. We talked about how each item should be placed in its own utensil. Number
Right.
15, if a child on the bar mitzvah, they fulfill their, if you sent shalach manas to a child on the bar mitzvah, they fill their obligation because the child is considered re'ehu, yet some disagree. 16, there's an opinion that one does not fulfill their obligation through sending to an apostate Jew because an apostate is not considered your fellow. Now, 17, if
Yeah.
someone sends mishleach manas to their teacher, they fulfill their obligation. 18. It is permitted for one to send Mashalach Manas to a Dayan who is currently handling a Din Torah in which they are party, if they
Really?
usually send him every year, and this is not an issue of bribery. So if it's a usual thing, they send them all the time, then you're not worried that, oh no, this could be considered bribery, because no, there's a regular thing. There's nothing out of the ordinary from of this gift. In fact, not sending it to him, you could say, could be a form of bribery or blackmail, like trying to manipulate him. Like, I can't send it to you unless you rule in my favor. Like, doesn't want to ruin that relationship. Basically, what you want to do is keep everything the status quo. So don't send him an extra special one. Send him what you usually do every year. Don't change. Don't change what you call it. See 5 about whether B'Shleich Madas may be sent to an oval.
Um,
So what does it mean? See 5. What's he talking about? Oh, we said before. That's what we said before. Number 5 was even during the week of Shiva, an aval is obligated to give, but he should only give to one person. And then after the shloshim, he can send, but not send anything that generates joy. But if for you to send to an aval, you are not supposed to send shalach manas to someone who's in the year of Avelos for their parent.
huh.
You can send to family members. You can send to their, your wife can send to their wife, and you can send to their kids. You cannot send to them. So I had this in mind. I didn't get a chance to go to the shiva of my doctor here in town. His mother, he was sitting shiva for his mother. I didn't make it to the shiva, so I was thinking, oh, I'll send them shalach manas. But Baruch Hashem, we learned this with this halacha cannot be sending him shalach manas. Um, now, what's interesting is, and we said this before in previous class, that according to some opinions, if the Rav, just because we just spoke about a Dayan, so again, also when it comes to a Rav of a city or the community, the Rav of either the city or the community, whatever, he's a big Rav, he's a communal Rav, a leader, then you could send him Shalach Manas. Now, if you made a mistake and you did send them, oh, I'm sorry. So sorry, just to go back for a second, the reason why you could send to a Rav, says in the note, is because when you send a shalach manas to a Rav, it's like you're paying a debt. It's an obligatory thing. It's something. It's a sign of respect to the Rav. It is not something that is mitzad simcha. It's not a joyous thing that you're doing. It's something. No, and you gotta send. You gotta respect the Rav. So you gotta send to the Rav. So it's not something that. Excuse me. So you're allowed to give shalach manas. You're allowed to give the Purim shalach manas. And yeah, but if someone did
Yeah.
after the fact, if someone already gave to an aval, a mourner, then you have still fulfilled your obligation, and the aval can even accept it. They don't have to refuse it. So if someone accidentally shows up at an aval's house, they don't have to be no, you can't give it to me. Blah, blah. Just accept it. It's okay. The mitzvah was done. Don't worry about it. Whoops. Okay. But lechatchila, if you remember, don't be giving to someone who's sitting shiva for their parent. It says. It seems to imply, and I haven't looked up the Maramakim, but it seems to imply that if they're sitting shiva um, for someone else, like a child, then it's okay. Anyway, moving on.
My phone is heating up again.
Is it plugged in? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
Is it plugged in? Is maybe take it out of its case? Maybe it's got.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's trying to do too many things at once. If you have too many other programs open, maybe I don't know. Many reasons why it could be heating up. If you have a fan, put it in front of a fan. But then it'll be noisy. Yeah, I don't. We can do tech support another time. But right now, let's just continue learning and.
Uh, Go ahead,
Um,
20.
so yeah, 20. The proper order is for the more distinguished person to send first, after which the other person reciprocates. So
Oh, huh.
yeah, if I guess that's also like today's day and age, everyone just kind of sends at different times or whatever. But if let's say that you go to the Rav and he gives you one and you give him one, let him give first. Of course, if you don't know, like today's day and age, everyone just goes and gives and drops off, their shalach manas and whatnot. So you don't know who's going to give who. But if you know for sure, I go to my brother-in-law who's a big Talmud Chacham, and I know he's going to give me. I'll let him give me first, and then I'll give him mine. So now, whoever adds in giving, sorry, what, Tatty?
Yeah, you think of the opposite. You think you should give the more honored person. Interesting.
No, like giving is, I guess that's the whole thing. Is giving is the sign of respect. So it's one of the
Yeah,
ways you show respect of let them do the mitzvah first.
interesting.
You know,
Okay. Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're in
yeah.
line, yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. Yeah. Let's see. The reason is the loy lechashvei legadol ehu. You don't want to make it seem like this person who's very important is your peer. If you're going to give him first, it seems like, oh, this is just your buddy, your pal. So you let him go first. So it shows, no, this is someone special. Rakasha gadol maktim b'shelech lekatan v'choyshvei l're'ehu hadar m'shalch lehakatan.
Interesting.
And it's Eliezer. And yeah. All right. And number 21, whoever adds in giving Mashalach Manas to friends is praiseworthy. So there is what to say um,
Is
that
that
to give more Shalach Manas. And he adds in the note that to point out that Ebba used to give Shalach Manas to three people: a Kohen, a Levi, and Yisrael. How's it? I have a whole shtick where, excuse me,
Amen.
it kind of bothers me how Shalach Manas in certain communities have become a sort of keeping up with the Joneses. There's a whole pressure. My friend, oh, you're giving me a Shalach Manas, so I have to give you a Shalach Manas, and I got to give friends. And people spend the whole day running around and how much dollars, a giant operation, giving out hundreds of Shalach Manas because they got to give every single teacher. Each kid has to give their entire class. They have to give every single friend you've ever spoken to in the community. Otherwise, someone's going to get offended. And you got to make it nice. You got to make it fancy. You got to add stuff to it. Now you're not going to give the $999 shalach manas that some store is putting together with a fancy scotch, cigar, and steak, but still, it's going to cost you. And they spend the whole day doing that. I've seen it happen where the whole Purim day has gone by, and I've seen a friend of mine at a Purim party. Like it's already night, it's already after Shkia, after Tseis, Purim day is over, and I talked to them about Matanas Lavyonim, and they're like, I didn't do it. Between davening, hearing Megillah, davening Shachris, hearing Megillah, and then running around all day giving Shalach Manas, they didn't do Matanas Lavyonim. They never sat down and actually had a proper Su'udah during the day. They sat down at night at a Purim party, which is already after Purim. My point is, it bothers me because there's other mitzvahs like we're learning around now. We're going to learn Matanas L'Vyanim, whatever, that are very important. Matanas L'Vyanim is all about making sure that everyone can take part in the Su'udah and has a Su'udah. Shalach Manas is about that too. So yes, it's good to give more people, but not at the expense of the other mitzvahs that we're obligated to do and should be doing. So I started a thing where I kind of want to teach my kids we're not doing the whole thing where we give to all our friends. We might do it somewhat, but we're not doing the thing. Like we're going to bedavki give shalach manas to people who otherwise might not get shalach manas. But we're not doing this whole. We're not engaging in this whole thing where I have to buy a case of chips and a case of cookies and a case of sodas, and then we have to spend hours, putting them all together to give to every single person we've ever met, because that's not the mitzvah shalach manas.
So what does this mean? Whoever adds.
So, like I said, Tatty, and I think the note I think brings it up perfectly. Is there is a mitzvah to give one. To give to more than one is praiseworthy. And you know what the Rebbe did? He didn't give 100. He didn't give 1,000. He gave to 3 people: a Kohen, a Levi, a Yisrael. That's Mahadr the mitzvah, and it gives to each type, a representative of each type of Jew, and then go focus on other mitzvahs.
Is that's what the note said?
The note pointed out, L'tzayin, Shechak, Maran, Admur, Mlabavich, Zia, Shalach, Mishleich Manas, L'gimel Anashim, Kohen, Levi, Yisrael. The Rebbe gave 3. That's what I said before. The note points out how the Rebbe gave to 3 people. That's it. And that's what I'm saying is that, listen, you can go and give to a few people and get, but like, don't let it come at the expense of something else. It's just common sense is what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything revolutionary. Go ahead, give to multiple people. I'm not saying don't, like, if I had time, fine. I would probably think of make a list of how many people aren't getting shalach manas, and Badaf could go give those guys. That's great. But to do this whole thing where you're giving every single friend and every person you've ever met is a waste of time. It's a waste of money, and I think disrespectful to the concept of shalach manas. But that's my pet peeve and personal opinion.
Can you give shalach manas? I forgot. Like by online, does that count? Or do you have to give it? Well,
The next
we're gonna talk
section.
about now.
The next section is the manner of delivering. Okay, so we have 2 points on the manner of delivering. Number 22, lechatchila mishleich manas should be sent through an emissary, and the emissary can even be a child or a non-Jew. Meaning, first of all, I go give shalach manas, I can give it to my son or daughter and say, hey, can you give this shalach manas to this person? Or a non-Jew, like, for example, if someone, or a non-Jew, meaning you can have the delivery guy. You can send it online. Because it's not about a din shlichus that requires another yid. Okay. I just want to see in the note if he talks more about somebody, of B'nai Noach, as we like to say. Okay. I don't see too much about it, but basically, yes. Yeah, you can do that. And if someone delivers it on their own, they fulfill their obligation bidi evet, meaning lechatchila, you're supposed to give it through an emissary, someone, a go-between. If you didn't, okay, you did the mitzvah.
But you gotta do it on Purim day. You can't do it before that, right?
Yeah, all these mitzvahs are mitzvahs for Purim day. There are 4 mitzvahs Purim day. We got Megillah, Mishleich Manas, Matanas Lev Yoinim, and Mishteh. Su'udah, the 4 mems. The 4 mems.
Because Sacramento,
Yeah.
they're asking for people to donate the shalach manas for the soldiers now. That wouldn't count.
Hold on. Donate money now, but it's going to be given on Purim. They want you to give
Oh,
the money
oh,
now, but they're going to give them on Purim still.
oh, oh,
They're
oh,
still going to give it on Purim. You can just give the money early. Say, hey, here's $50 on Purim. Can you give so and so a shalom manas for me? That's what you're doing.
okay.
Um, yeah. Okay. And number 23, the two manas should be sent at the same time, not one after the other. Remember, because in each shalach manas, there's supposed to be two different types of food. So you shouldn't give the guy a soda and then be like, oh, and here's also, your hamburger. It should be one package, two things. That way it's mishleach, shalach, manais. Both mana is both types of things are together. Both minim are together. If one does send them one after the other, again, they fulfill their obligation b'diavad. So again, lechatchila, send it through a messenger. Lechatchila, it's both things at the same time. But technically, if you didn't do it that way, you're okay. Now the time frame, you again jump the gun. When should we be giving shalach manas? Time frame for delivering. You asked. You're ahead of the game, Tatty. Ahead of the game, as always. Um, so yeah. The time frame, 24. This obligation is applicable specifically during the day, which is when the obligation to feast pertains, and not at night. Like I mentioned before, the connection between Mataras Levyanim and Shalach Manas are about providing others with a mishta. The point is that you're supposed to have a suuda. And for those that might not have, so we want to give to make sure everyone has a mishta. Okay? So if one gave at night and the recipient ate it at night, so you see someone Matzah Shabbos and you're like, I'm not going to see this guy tomorrow and I really want to give him, or the Rav, let's say, you want to give him. So you give it to him that night. But if he goes and eats it that night, then you didn't fulfill the mitzvah. And if the guy ate it the next day, then you did fulfill the mitzvah, even though you gave it at night, but he ate the shalach manas the next day. So that's another thing of make sure. That's another thing which I think a lot of people don't realize. People receive the shalach manas, but they don't touch it.
Right,
They eat it, a week
right.
before Pesach when they're like, oh, crackers, I can't have this chametz in my house anymore. Eat it right away. Meaning, at least one person or two people, or like we said, let's say you do the Rebbe thing, Kohen Levi Yisrael. You're going to go give Rabbi Mendy Cohen because he's a Rav and he's a Kohen. It's perfect. Two birds in one stone. It's Jewish. It's a deal, a 2-for-1 deal, right? Give him something that you know he'll eat and then insist that he eats from it right away. Be like, Rabbi, here's your shalach manas. Now let's say l'chaim on the shalach manas right away. So that way, you did the mitzvah. Because if you don't know, if he doesn't eat it that day, you did. Anyway, some say though, if you give it at night, even if he eats it during the day, did not fulfill this obligation.
I always thought it was just giving. I never knew eating was part of the thing.
Because the whole point is you're giving it so that the person has a mishnah during the day. So if they don't eat it, then yeah, it kind of reflects on when you sent it, kind of thing. So if one is sending food during the day, it is permitted to also send at night. The Mishnah Brura. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think what he's saying is that if you're like you shouldn't be sending just at night because you're really supposed to be sending shalach manas during the day. So the Mishnah Brura says if you're also going to send during the day, then you can also give someone shalach manas at night, even though that's not for the mitzvah, but it's not problematic if you do so. But whoever wants to go check that up can go check it up more inside. Maybe I'll look inside in a minute. Mishnah Brura Simon Tafar Sadik Hey Sifkat and Chaf Beis. Okay, the manas should be sent before or during the meal. Again, the same reason we said before, because the whole point of shalach manas is about for the suda. Yeah. Okay. Number 26. If someone sends shalach manas before Purim and they arrive to the recipient on Purim day, so like this fundraiser for the soldiers, they fulfill their obligation. And others say they do not fulfill their obligation. So if one told an emissary before Purim they should deliver the manas on Purim, the sender fulfills their obligation according to all. If a child became bar mitzvah on Purim and sent shalach manas before Purim, he does not fulfill his obligation, even if it reaches the recipient on Purim, because he's not a gadol. He can't make a shliach until Purim. So it doesn't matter that he made a shliach before. He didn't have the power to do so. The guy's not a shliach for him. If one sent monies, number 27, if one sent monies to another and they're not home, will only return home after Purim, sender does not fulfill his or her obligation. So again, it's not about just the sending. They have to receive it. So then eating it Purim day is a part of, I think that's the understanding, is that that's part of the reception of it. If they got it, yeah. Okay, now miscellaneous halachas with regards to shalach manas. Koyach, 28. If one says manas to their fellow and they refuse or do not want to receive it, you got beef with the guy, whatever it is, you're trying to make shalom, and he doesn't want to receive it. You still fulfill your obligation according to some, but yet some disagree. So there's a whole sugya, but yeah, it's a machlekes. If the sender transfers it to the recipient against the recipient's will, the sender fulfills his or her obligation. I guess basically what we just said. But brachas come upon one who is stringent to send to another in a proper manner. Meaning, give it to somebody who's going to accept it. Because there is a machlekes rishonim on this. If you gave it bal karchach, and he gave it, is it giving or not? So since this is the rabbanan, it's fine, but it's a machlekes, so of course it's better if you give to someone who you know is going to receive it and eat from it. All right, number 29. If you gave the meat, right, in Purim day, they found out the meat was treif, so you haven't fulfilled your obligation. You need to send a whole nother shalach manas because you sent them something you couldn't use. Same applies if the shalach manas were lost or stolen. You got to send another one. Like, hey, did you get the shalach manas? It's on your porch. Nothing on my porch. The ring cam shows someone stole it. Okay, but I still sent you one. Nope. You got to make sure to send it. They have to receive it. 30. If someone sends manas to another and the recipient does not know who they've received it from, the sender does not fulfill their obligation. Shalach manas cannot be anonymous. It's not like tzedakah, like level of tzedakah where it's better if it's anonymous. Shalach manas, they got to know who they get it from. It's fascinating. I don't think I ever knew that. So the reason is because the Ramah is paskins, im shalach manas l're'eyu who moichel loy diyotzer, right? So the Ramah is the one who says if he's fine with it, you're still yotzer, right? Behind the shterek manas alevi shahu k'dei laharbes hashalem v'reyos, right? You're trying to make shalom and camaraderie. In case of Kabbalah, ena yidea mishal shalcham shalchem leinis rabim zereis b'layotzer. The Ramah basically saying the whole point of Shalach Manas is to foster camaraderie. If the guy doesn't know who sent it to him, it's not fostering camaraderie between Jews because he has no idea who it was who sent it. So it doesn't evoke a feeling of, oh, now I feel closer to so-and-so. Now I feel closer to Ruvain or to Shimon. That guy sent me Shalach Manas. That makes me feel good. So what's interesting is this brings out, like we said before, about someone who increases in the Shalach Manas they give, they're praiseworthy. This seems to imply that, no, it's a good thing to give out hundreds and maybe even thousands of Shalach Manas. Which, again, I don't want to come across as like what I was saying before, was saying it's a bad thing to give more gifts. That's a wonderful thing. And I think that if you can, then do it. My point is when it comes at the expense of the rest of the day, and it's a stressful thing, and all you've done is you've taken something that was good and turned it negative. But if you can go and give to everyone in town, and it doesn't take away from the other mitzvahs, then kol hakavod, even all the more so. It fosters more camaraderie in the community. The problem is that it's just not practical. Not everyone has the ability to do that. So instead, in fostering camaraderie, you're causing strife. You're causing machlekes, because you're causing that. If you give more than three, like the Rebbe, he gave to a Kohen, a Levi, and Yisrael. So no one got offended that they didn't get a Shalach Manas from the Rebbe, right? I'm sure there were no other Rebbeim who were like, oh, the Lubavitch Rebbe didn't give Shalach Manas. I'm offended. He must be upset at me or something. No, they knew. He gave three, and that was it. Of course, he's not giving to everybody. But if you're going around giving 20, and now you didn't give 500, all the other people that didn't get will be like, wait, you give those people, why didn't you give me? Give that brother-in-law, why didn't you give me? Why give that neighbor? Why not me? Okay, you're just causing more trouble. If you're a billionaire who somehow can send a shalach manas to everybody in town, great. All the more so. You're disrabe hareyus. You're increasing in camaraderie. Okay, so let's go back inside. So we just did 30. Fine. So basically you got to make sure they receive it, and you got to make sure they know who it came from for the mitzvah to be fulfilled. 31. If someone sends Rishlech Manas as a matana amanachs lahachzir, meaning a present on condition that it be returned, they have fulfilled their obligation. He still gave it, and they have use for it. They can give it back. Some say you have not fulfilled your obligation because they got to actually fulfill it. They got to actually receive it. Excuse me. The mitzvah is that they eat and drink so that they be happy on Purim.
Mhm.
So it basically there's a machlekes because it gets into the reason. What's the reason of shalach manas? Is it to increase in peace and camaraderie? Then you've done that by giving him a gift, and then him giving you back the gift increases camaraderie even more. You've now gifted, both given each other.
Yeah.
You've still sent the gift. You've given gifts, even though they're not eating them. But if the reason is that everyone has enough to fulfill a su'uda, then you haven't done it because you told the guy he has to give it back, so he doesn't have anything to eat. That's what I'm saying. The lechatchila way is give it to a guy and make sure he eats it on Purim day. That way you know he's received it, he's accepting it, and he's eating from it. That shows he's got it for the suda. And finally, the food for shalach manas should not be bought from using meiser money. You're allowed to use meiser money for a lot of different things. You buying svarim or other things. But for this, you shouldn't be doing that because, yeah. And the Maril says also by Matanis Levyenu.
I know that my somebody can invest for him with it.
Depends on the exact circumstance, but yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things they say a lot of times when it comes to Hey Tavis. They're like, no, you can use your mice money. And maybe not all svarim. Maybe it's only svarim for like for kids in school or shoals or something. No, but I'm pretty sure even just your regular svarim. I'm not sure. Yeah, whatever. You look it up. Google it. We can Google it after, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's allowed. There are areas where mice money could be used to buy svarim, but I could be wrong. Matanis lev yainim. Okay. So wait. So we've done a half an hour. We can pause and we'll continue. We'll continue with Matanis lev yainim. Bezrat Hashem tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shekayach.
Yeah,
All right. All right. That's the love. We'll talk more tech support another time off the channel. Okay. Love you too.